Hi, my name is Shayna Kivett, and I have been taking English 112 this semester, and today I'm going to be presenting to you my research paper on teenage abortion. 4 years ago, a lady at the age of 17 was faced with an unplanned pregnancy. She had secretly been dating a guy that she knew her parents would not approve of. Her boyfriend wanted to keep the baby, start a family, and marry her, but she let her parents' opinion get the best of her, and she aborted the baby. After she aborted, the guy left her, and she knew she had made a big mistake. A story like this is more common than many people imagine. According to the National Committee for Adoption, 1.6 million children are being killed by abortion. Whether to have an abortion or not is a big decision in a teenage girl's life because she has to be aware of the physical and mental risk as well as be informed of what all her alternative options are. I would only like to think that abortion would be warranted only if a teenager was raped. With the physical and mental risk, my personal opinion is that I don't think abortion should even be an option. Teen girls do not realize that by having an abortion, the risks that are involved may reflect their lifestyles. Every day, unplanned pregnancies occur. Parents are faced with a difficult decision on how to handle their life with a newborn. According to the Guttmacher Institute, teens choose to have an abortion because they do not want the birth of a baby to change their lives. Some teens are not financially able or mature enough to take care of a baby at such a young age. They never really realize how expensive having children can be or how drastic their lives will change once the baby is born. Teens considering abortion are influenced upon the location of where they live, their religious beliefs, the relationship between their family, and peer pressure. Some teens decide to have an abortion because they know they will be faced with being an only parent. They stress over the difficulty of raising a baby on their own. It is unimaginable that a person who is nothing but a child themselves is actually having a child. Some teens have medical problems that will be passed on to the baby. Negative effects on a teenager can make them quickly determine their decision on an unplanned pregnancy. Having a child at such an early age interferes with time off work, career interruption, and getting an education. Finishing high school is one of the hardest things a teenage mom could face. When teens become pregnant, the dreams that they once had have been changed forever. Being a parent may cross a teen parent's mind, but peer pressure and their fear of not being able to meet their needs for the child, it gets the best of them. Financial concerns are always an uproar. All medical expenses for the teen and baby must be paid, causing the decision of an abortion to be made. According to the Centers for Disease Control, approximately 3/4 of teens that have abortions can't afford a place to live, care for a child, or even pay their prenatal medical costs. Maternal health plays a role in teens deciding to have an abortion. The physical strain of a fetus on its mother has a potential effect of killing her if pre-existing health problems or pregnancy conflicts occur. During a teen mother's pregnancy, she can be mentally destabilized from pressure, stress, commitment, and preparation of an unexpected baby. Any mother is affected mentally by an unplanned pregnancy. Mental conflicts occur when a mother thinks of what her life would be like. For example, can she raise the baby financially? Will she be a single parent, etc.? The experience of an abortion puts teens in an emotional and physical state of mind. Teens who have aborted their babies carry the guilt, anger, and depression for the murder that they have done. Teens may face emotional side effects immediately or years after an abortion. They may suffer from an eating disorder or from substance abuse. For example, a young girl found out at the beginning of her junior year in high school that she was pregnant. She had broken up with her ex 2 weeks before she found out she was pregnant. She had debated on telling him that she was pregnant, and after a month she did. Word had spread around her school, and her ex was pressuring her to get an abortion. She finally gave in, having been harassed over being pregnant, and decided to go to the abortion clinic. She got the abortion pill. She had a series of 3 pills that she had to take. The first night she took the pill, She had so much emotion that she cried until she threw up and went numb. She honestly didn't want to have an abortion. The second night she was supposed to take her pill, she didn't. She had decided that she would take full responsibility of being a parent and flush the rest of her pills. Unfortunately, by only taking one pill, it caused her so many medical problems that it caused her to lose the baby. She stated in an interview, "The worst part is facing this constant guilt every day of my life. Not a day goes by that I don't think about having my baby in my arms, loving it and holding it. Since then, I have had many girls come up to me that want to get an abortion. She told them that the choice was theirs, but she tells her story in hopes that they would change their mind. I don't want anyone to go through what I did," she states. The self-hatred, the depression, the throwing up, the guilt, the constant crying, the suicide thoughts and attempts. This is something I will never forgive myself for, and I hate the thought of any girl going through this. Sometimes what you think is the easy way out doesn't turn out to be that in the long run. This is simply because of the depression that they are going through with their decision of an abortion. A flashback of an abortion excessively increases the guilt a teen is carrying, leading them to the thoughts of suicide. Emotional stress may lead to the effects on a teen's sex life or sexual dysfunction. Post-abortion stress syndrome, or PASS, occurs with the emotional effects of abortion. Teens may deny having abortions on account of their conscience. Until teens have accepted the decision that they have done wrong, they will continue to struggle with PASS. Time will eventually ease the guilt teens have felt for the destruction they have done. Some teens are not affected by an abortion, but for the ones who have been affected, time heals all wounds. There will always be a relationship effect associated with an unborn child that was aborted during an unplanned pregnancy. Abortions hurt teens spiritually as well. Not only is an abortion the removal of uterus contents, but it is the ending of a human life. This may lead to the teen having separation issues from God. Teens who undergo an abortion are more likely to get ovarian or cervical cancer. If a teen who had aborted before becomes pregnant and decides to keep the baby, she is more likely to have a premature baby. Parents that are faced with an unplanned pregnancy have many options other than choosing abortion. They can grow up, accept the fact that they are going to have a baby, and continue with their changed lives. Some alternatives other than abortion are marriage, single parenting, or adoption. If teens marry the partner of their pregnancy, they have an increased likelihood of not going through an abortion. Both parents have emotional support. They gain strength and security from one another throughout their pregnancy. Many teens today go through single parenting because they cannot bear the grief that they would feel if they decided to choose an abortion. Instead, they decide to carry the fetus until full term and care for them as a single parent. The best option other than abortion is adoption. There are so many people in this world today that are not able to have children of their own. Couples that are determined to have a family of their own choose the only option that is available for them. Couples that can't have a baby will be willing to adopt and care for a newborn child as if it were their own. Adoption could be the best solution to an unplanned pregnancy. This can be a very welcoming alternative to raising a child a teen feels she would not be able to raise, as well as dodging the death of a human being. With adoption, a teen's pregnancy ends with giving life and the relief of having less grief than they would have had with an abortion. Choosing abortion ends with the death of a child that could have been avoidable, and it will hinder their life in the long run. So it is easy to see when teens become pregnant that they struggle to come to a decision on whether they should keep the baby or have an abortion. Most choose to have an abortion because they are scared of the lifetime changes that having a child at such a young age would cause. They can't afford the financial needs for the baby and do not want to have the consequence of paying the medical bills. Abortions have an underlying effect on teenagers in their pregnancies. Teens may develop PASS, which is post-traumatic syndrome. This is an anger and guilt issue that they face because of the decision that they made to abort a baby. Some say that they would rather abort than give their baby up for adoption. We need to prove to them the pros and cons of abortion versus adoption. Would you rather have a teenage pregnancy end in the life of a newborn or the death of a human being? Thank you.